A woman is nothing but an accumulation of her friends' opinions. You see, you might think that impressing her is enough, but you know what? It isn't. I had an interesting example last night. I was out in Belgrade. England won penalties against Switzerland, so I wanted to go out and celebrate with a couple of the British guys that I met here. So I went out and we went to this place called Kuchica, and it's a cool place right on the river in Belgrade. Loads of hot girls and just generally quite a cool crowd. And I spotted this gorgeous blondie. I'm into my blondies. And I spotted this gorgeous blondie. That's not to say I don't go for brunettes, obviously. My girlfriends have been half brunette and the other half have been blonde, actually. I spotted this gorgeous blondie and, I see her from a distance and she looks at me a couple of times. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'll just go and be friendly. I'm outcome independent. I'm not like trying to hit on her, trying to have sex with her. I don't care about any of that. I'm just making friends, understanding female psychology, and just going with the vibe. Making friends, that's not true, actually. I'm actually not looking for female friends. I'm looking to understand female psychology. I'm looking to see what ticks a woman, what makes it work so that I can share and spread this information with you. Because I need to be able to do this as an absolute master and continually be able to do so to be able to spread the message. So, looks at me a couple of times, I look over her, and then I just stroll over. I'm like, hi. Really, really calm and cool. And she's like, hey. I'm like, I saw you over here, so just thought I'd come over and see how your night is going. Super simple. She's already looking, so she's already interested, right? If a girl's already looking at you and she's already interested, you don't have to go over and say anything spectacular. You just need to be super simple, introduce yourself. Hi. Be calm, speak slowly. And I noticed that her two friends standing side by side to her both turn around, obviously, to see what was going on. And they were like, okay, who's this guy? Do we approve? That's literally what's going through their mind in that second. Who's this guy? Do we approve? Do we think he's hot? Do we think he's good looking? Do we think he's got the right introduction and the right vibe? It's entirely up to her friends whether she's going to give you a good reaction or not after your interaction with her is complete. And not even after it's complete. Because during your interaction with her, her friends will be giving her signs with the eyes, with the body language. Women speak telepathically to each other. And I noticed that when I sort of stepped off and I was like, all right, cool. Oh, my friends are here. 1 second. Let me just give them their drinks. When I stepped off and looked away and was handing the beers over to my boys, and I looked back in the corner of my eye, I could see that she turned to both of her friends and was whispering and talking to them. And they were giggling and laughing and obviously sharing information. And her friends were probably saying, I don't know, oh, that dude was pretty good looking. What did he say to you? Obviously, that's what it's always about. What did he say? So the girls always want to spread what the guy said to them if he's good looking. Now, if he's not good looking and if he's not dressed well, I was dressed quite well last night, to be fair. I had a nice, relatively tight, silky blue shirt on, which showed off my body. My chest hairs were hanging out. I was nicely tanned from the day. My hair was done nicely. I was in good energy. England had won. England are through to the semi-finals of the Euro, so I was buzzing, absolutely buzzing. I came out with good energy. I walked out of the house with good energy, which is always what I say to you. Always make sure you're walking out of the house with good energy. But ultimately, when I looked over in the corner of my eye, I noticed that her friends had given her the nod of approval, and that was the killer. I was like, bang, yeah, I'm pretty much in. And then as we started veering, so I noticed that they were leaving. This was 10, 15 minutes later. They'd finished their drinks. I was with the boys, dancing around, having a good time, interacting with other people. And I noticed they started leaving. And I was like, oh shit, I better go see what's going on. She was pretty hot. Just want to go find out what they're up to. So I start making my way towards the exit. And as I get just towards the exit, I turn, I pretend that I'm also leaving. And I don't pretend that I'm chasing, right? I'm not oh, I just wanted to catch you before you left. Where are you going? I was pretending I was also walking out. And I was like, oh, it's you again. I was like, what are you up to? Where are you going? You going anywhere interesting? Oh, yeah, we're going to this bar next door. We're going to see if it's any good. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, well, listen, you seem like a nice girl. You don't look Serbian to me. She was like, no, I'm actually not Serbian. I'm like, well, what country do you think I'm from? I'm like, with your hair, I reckon you're either like German or Scandinavian. She's like, yeah, exactly. I'm Swedish. I was like, oh, wow, fantastic. Wow, cool. Love Swedish girls. Blah, blah, blah. And then I'm looking over at her friends at the same time, and I'm actually also making conversation with them. So as I'm talking to her, I turn around to her friends, and one of her friends is like wearing a cross. And I was like, oh, she's the religious one. She's going to church tomorrow. And then they're all laughing, like, no, not really. And then her other friend was like, oh, stop looking at her breast. Stop using that as an excuse to look at her breasts. And I was like, oh, easy. I was like, oh, do you want me to look at... I was like, where's your cross then? And she was like, I'm not wearing a cross. Anyway, it's all bullshit small talk. Like, let's be honest. Most of the conversations you're going to have with these girls is just like bullshitty small talk at the beginning. So you have to get quite good at being like just chatting a bit of shit at the start. You know, just being a bit cocky, funny, making some jokes. And then I was like, all right, cool. Well, listen, you girls seem nice, but I need to get back to my friends. I was going to leave, but they're actually in here. I should probably go say bye. How about I take your number, so obviously the hot one, and we'll speak. And she's like, yeah, cool, sounds good. I was like, cool. So we exchanged phone numbers. I got her on WhatsApp. And then I was like, oh, let's take a picture so I don't forget you. And she's like, cool. And I was like, okay. And I was like, let's all get in the picture. And that was the move. So I got three of the girls in the picture and me, took a selfie. I was like, you ready? Girls smile, bang, took the picture. And they were like, oh no, it doesn't look good. Take another one, same old shit. All right, cool, yeah, bang, here's another one. Oh yeah, no, oh my cross was in the way. I was like, no, your breasts look fine. Don't worry, you look great. To the other one, obviously teasing all of them at the same time, in order to gain the approval almost of the main hot one. So I took the picture. I was like, cool, girls, have a nice evening. Like, gave them all like a peck on the cheek, like a gentleman, and then walked off. That's the impression that you want to be making to a group of girls, okay? Because you, like I said, I started this video by saying that a girl is basically a depiction, and a girl is basically the sum of the opinions of her friends, okay? Someone better write that down in the comments, because that was a killer line I just came up with right there. A girl is the sum of her opinions of her friends. That is literally what she is. If they approve, you're pretty much in. If they don't approve, like, oh no, he ain't so good looking, oh no, he's weird, boom, it's over. You are done, bro. You are out. If one of her friends is hating up and talking some shit, or more than one, you're going to really, really struggle. You're going to really struggle. So ultimately, the guys who are good with women and the guys who understand female psychology, i.e. me, are the ones who are good socially and understand how to interact socially with multiple people in a group. All right, if you're just good at interacting with one woman, you might be able to attract her. And then when you're out with her friends and your friends, and you're a little bit weird and you're not like a bit socially awkward and you're a bit shy, everyone's going to notice that, and she's going to notice that you're not socially calibrated. Okay, you're not calibrated socially to be like a bit of a G, a bit cool, just have your wits about you and be social. So you're going to fail later on down the line with her friends when they're around, because they're all going to have a judgment on you. All of them are going to have a massive judgment on you. So try and understand how to sort of calibrate yourself socially. Like, just be a fun guy, be fun loving. Don't worry too much about the outcome. Don't be like, oh, I need to get laid. Oh, I need to get that. Dude, it's not about getting laid. It's about getting like a high quality, good quality woman that you can potentially settle down with and build your life with and build your business with. Or build your business while she supports you. That's what this shit's about, man. I keep preaching it's not about getting laid and doing the numbers. Yeah, fine. I've done the big numbers, but like, honestly, whatever. Like, I don't care about that anymore. I literally don't care. I'm in a different phase of my life. I want more meaningful relationships, meaningful sex, meaningful, deep relationships is what I'm after. So when you're out and you're socializing, just remember that her friends are absolutely key to the interaction, and you want to tease all of them, make a bit of a joke, and just be a bit of a slick guy, just in terms of being attractive to the many, not the few. Now, if you are attractive to the few, then that's also fine, because everyone has their own sort of market or product market fit, as you like, in economics and in business, or target market, as you like. So everyone's got their target market. But that was just an example of interaction of how I, made a joke with the other girls, had a bit of a laugh with them, built some rapport, took a picture with all of them, not just me and the hot girl, right? I was like, let's all get in the picture. They probably liked that little move. I was like, oh, he's involving all of us. He's not just directly aiming at her the whole time. So that's what I would do. Be fun, be playful, and just remember, her friends are the sum of her opinions. You have to actually impress her friends and keep them, make sure they've got a good impression of you. And sometimes there's nothing you could do. Sometimes they just won't like you and you'll just lose the battle, and that's also fine, because you don't want to have to go around the world being loved by everyone. Who gives a shit what people think of you ultimately? If they don't like you for who you are, then move on. I'm not saying that you should necessarily excuse me, change who you are just to fit other people's requirements and needs. No. If you're a masculine, good-looking dude who's, I don't care how short you are. I don't care if you're like, oh no, I'm not a good-looking dude. You can do things to make yourself good-looking. Like how I was dressed last night, the accessories that I had on me, like the way I'd styled my hair, just my energy, my general vibe that I came out with. I was just on point, and I was interacting positively with everyone. And that's the key. On the nights that I'm not really feeling it, I don't interact very positively with people. But on the nights where I am feeling it, I interact positively with everyone. So it all starts when you leave that house, man. If you're in a good vibe and you're feeling like, I'm feeling good tonight. I've been working out. I'm good. I've had a good day. I'm feeling good about myself this week. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put myself out in the world. You'll get positive results no matter what happens. It's all about positive interactions, my friends. All right? So make a good impression on her friends. Keep them all sweet. Be the gentleman. And you'll be able to win her over.